So this week for the white belt curriculum, like I've been saying, is all our stand-up work. So we're going to start off with grips. It's the first stage of the fight. So first of all, posture. Big thing is that you can tell a lot about what you're going to find on the feet based on how your guy stands, right? Wrestlers, really heavy kind of on their front legs there, but they're not spread wide. So you can kind of tell if a jiu-jitsu guy's pretending that he knows how to wrestle, is that if he has that lead leg really far forward, right? What they tend to do is actually keep themselves really square and then keep themselves in a shot, hands kind of tucked in. They disregard their neck a little bit because they know they're going to hit the takedown, okay? Judokas, completely centered through the hips, very postured, sort of neutral. Jiu-jitsu, kind of ass heavy, right? They're looking to pull. So you can sort of figure out what the guy's going to do. Now, of course, they can be trying to trick you too, but most guys don't play around as much with that, considering that this is a grappling fight. Most guys are just going to put themselves into the position that they are going to fight best with or get to the point as quickly as possible. So what I always suggest is to take the judoka's route. You're a little bit more open for takedowns as far as like guys trying to drive in on your legs, but as long as you have a couple throws on your side, you can reverse a lot of those positions and you can still sprawl strongly. The worst positioning is going to be the sort of jiu-jitsu take, which is the ass heavy, kind of squatted position. It's really easy to get tackled. It's really easy to get, foot swept. It's very tough to stop any attacks from that position. However, you can pull guard in this. So it just depends on what you want to do, okay? Now, basis of engaging on the feet here, it depends. If I want to shoot from the outside, going for a double or something, or if I want to pummel in and get some underhooks, but we're going to base this off of what's most likely to occur is you're going to have to grab each other. So initiating those grips. Now, the biggest thing is to try and keep your collars as tight as you can. So you see like a lot of judokas, everything stays nice and tight, hands kind of blocking their collar. A lot of guys will actually hold on to their collar and only present one side so that they can defend your grips really easy and make it tougher to pick up a grip. But for me personally, I want to get to the fight as quickly as we can, so I'm not too worried about them grabbing me so long as I get my grips. So the main grip that we need is the lapel grip. That controls distance, okay? So from here, we're just in a basic stance. So first of all, I'm right hand dominant, so I want my right hand on the lapel, and that's going to change depending on where you're more comfortable throwing from, okay? But generally speaking, again, I'm right hand dominant, so I want my right side forward leading. And you notice again that my right foot is forward. We talk about this quite often whenever I yell at you guys when we're working from our feet. But if I have my left foot forward, which if I were striking, I want my dominant hand back for my cross. But the way that we engage in grips, because I'm fighting with my right hand forward, that'd be the equivalent of standing in a neutral stance or your standard stance for striking, but then using my right hand to jab, right? My spine is really twisted up there whenever I left foot lead, right hand lead, and you're going to be really susceptible to getting taken down. You can't react. Your spine has been wrong, okay? So right hand on the lapel, right foot forward. Left hand on the lapel, left foot forward. Okay, it might take a little bit of getting used to, but an important detail. Next important thing, unless you are a high level judoka or you're going to be pulling guard right off the bat, always near side lapel, okay? If I go for a cross grip, which most jiu-jitsu guys tend to go for because, again, they're used to engaging with that cross grip inside the guard where you have the guy contained, it's going to end up bad for you if he knows what he's doing on his feet. The biggest thing is the tension, okay? When I grab on the proper side, so right side lapel in my perspective, if he tries to cut to my back here, the gi resists, so I can actually stop him from doing that. If I grab on this side, he's going to open up and he'll be able to get behind me, okay, which is obviously not good. Now you could argue, well, it's going to open up on the other side if he turns in, but my other grip is going to be at the arm or sleeve, and that's going to stop him from doing that. So I have control of push, pull, in, out, twisting, and all that good stuff, okay? Now the way that we're going to establish that first grip though, if I just reach straight in, it's easy for him to intercept my hand, and because the gi is tight up top by the chest and by the collarbone where I want to be initiating my grip, sometimes you kind of miss it. It's a little bit too tight. So what we're going to do is go low-high, okay? I reach for the stomach first, and I pull the lapel towards my dominant hand, and then once I get that grip, he's most likely going to grab me, and then we initiate our other grip. Okay, one more time. Now this helps out for me being right-handed because The way that we wear our gis, left side over top, so I naturally have an easy catch here. And you see how it's usually looser, gis has a lot more slack there, so it's a fast catch. And again, tough for him to kind of defend his stomach. Most guys won't bother to. Okay, so again, low, high, nice strong grip. He grabs me, get the elbow, and he'll have the same. So we're 50-50 here, okay? Now, quick detail about our grips. So from this position, I always want to be at least collarbone in height, or punching him right into the pec. There's a little divot in the chest there. I think your knuckles are going to be digging into that. Any lower from here, first of all, too much slack. And also, I start using my shoulder to try and block him for that inside control. Like anytime he just starts coming in, I don't want to be using my shoulder muscle to push him away when I can use my chest and the natural extension of my arm like a punch. Okay? Nice and high, I'm really strong to resist here. But down here, as soon as he starts trying to move in, again, my hand will be swinging around a lot, and you can see now it's my shoulder essentially extending up to try and push him away. No good. Now, a high grip though, you want to make sure it's like just like a Thai plum, being as deep as you can here, nice and high on the mid-back, and my elbow blocks the chest, and I kind of sit down over top of that. That's also, of course, acceptable, good throwing position, but you need to be doing it properly. You never want to be like kind of holding on here, unless you're actually in a throw. Okay? So one more time. Low, high, nice control. He's going to counter grip me. Pick up the other grip. If I'm throwing or if I'm moving the guy at the elbow, if I'm breaking grips, when his gi's really shrunken, but I want to be at the wrist. Okay? So let's just go for that. Keep switching sides back and forth just so you get a little bit more comfort switching your feet. But that entrance is an important one. Okay? Let's start with that. Switching your stance properly and everything else. And of course, there's going to be tons of variation in what people will say. Like, you know, even I've even looked at a couple of really high-level judo guys have told some of the grip fighting mistakes, completely saying that they're correct. Just depends on how they've been taught or what throws they like and everything else. So really quickly here, so we established our grip, right? I got my right hand dominant, right foot forward, elbow, elbow. Now there's a lot of different ways of breaking the grips, okay? Because that's a big thing. Right now, 50-50. We have an equal chance of throwing each other or not, or blocking a throw or a takedown. So I want to get to a place of control or a place of dominance. So what I need to do is remove his control grip. The sleeve grip is nothing, okay? Like it's worth maybe 5% of your control, okay? So from here, I'm gonna drop my hand to the wrist. Here, underside. It's just a clamp grip, opens up. I'm following the seam of the sleeve here. Right to the end, as nice and low as I can get. Then my lapel grip is gonna go over towards the shoulder here. Now, good pressure in the shoulder. Now, you would think that this would be going against the rule that I just said, and we're not holding on to the lapel. This grip is completely different from actually holding on to some structure here. If he tries to turn towards my back, I'm physically blocking his shoulder, so he can't go in unless he buckles my arm somehow, okay? So again, from this position here, let's change the angle a little bit. At the elbow, I slide down to the wrist just to set the tension, and I start to just give a little bit of tension here. I'm not gassing out my tricep, but a nice little pull. I go across to the shoulder and I create separation. So now I'm almost gonna be like sitting my weight onto him, but not being silly, falling over. Good strong legs. And I'm pulling down a bit and I'm shoving away. The goal here is to make it feel like you're choking yourself with the tension of his grip. So I'm setting everything up so that he's on like the point where this grip is about to break. Now, one explosive motion, the hand slides down so that I'm meeting on top of my hand here. Don't worry about grabbing it, just cup. And then I pop straight down in an explosive manner. So it's here, slide down, shoulder, set your tension, and then from here, break the grip off, and then I reset every time and not letting him reset his grip. That's a bad habit when people start drilling this. So if they go here, they pop off, they let go, and then you're gonna train yourself to do that. After you break the grip off, keep it away, and then come back to your lapel. Same stance. This is where it's a 95 against 5% control, where basically I have all the options, he has only defensive options available to him. Okay, this is where you throw or pull. Okay? So again, here, end of the wrist, across to the shoulder. If I don't like what's going on here, I'll go back to my lapel grip. Okay? And then I come back again, give him a little hit here. Pull down a bit, oh, it's looking grip right. And then set the tension. One explosive motion. Don't come up, wind up, and hit them, okay? because you may miss, and don't flat palm it. Grab it with a cup, and again, pop straight down as I shuffle step back and I posture. A lot of people start doing this, especially when they hit tension, they go and put their weight over it. It makes sense, but he's connected to you. So if I go down, I'm helping his grip stay on. I want to do the opposite. I want to go up and away while I push down to create more pressure. Here, and then it's up, pop, away, away. Now this is going to suck for you guys. This is why judokas have such ridiculous grip strength, right? All those knuckles are going to get a little frayed today, okay? So we set up our grip. Pom pom, he grabs me, go to the wrist, go to the shoulder, create the tension, break, reestablish your grip, okay? Now the key thing here with this is that once you're ready to go, you can even just go a little sotogari or something, reset yourself, and then he'll go. 1 for 1, back and forth, okay? Now, really quickly, there's a lot of different ways to break this grip. It always feels stronger when you punch straight away from you. The thing is, then you play into the slack of your gi. So if someone has a really strong grip, this is going to be a little bit easier to maintain, even though you feel like you have a lot more power. When you go down, even if he has a strong grip and you don't break it off, it's going to slip. And you remember what I said about the grip here. The higher it is, the better. So as you slowly slip his grip down to the base, right, he has a lot less options. He's weak. Plus, as my arms get further down into a more extended position, you're going to be stronger. This to break off is super easy compared to when it's up high. Okay, elbows tight, hands on, pop down. Okay, all right, guys, let's go. Right? Especially in competition, especially at lower belts, guys, like it's like a matter of pride that you can't get rid of their grips. Now, just remember, I would rather you guys hold on like 50 to 75% strength. Have them, use expensive energy to break the grip, but ultimately it's easier to let go and then reestablish your grip again, right? Even though that could be a little bit dangerous, but it's less dangerous than just gassing the hell out of your hand and your forearm, holding on to those grips, and then you end up on the bottom and then you're trying to do a cross choke and you're doing this kind of stuff, okay? So death grips usually don't work out that well for the person doing them by the end of the fight, okay? So when you do this grip break, and don't let me break your grip off. So you go to the shoulder, you create the tension, you see I go right away back to the shoulder to block it. If I go from the wrist all the way through to here, I might miss it. Okay, and then that's his opportunity to close the distance. So here to here is really fast. I never linger at the wrist. Okay, if I stay here doing this, he's closed the gap and he's gonna be doing whatever he wants. Okay? So I go from here to the shoulder, create the tension, I try and pop, back again. Pop, back again, create that separation again. Every time you're doing this, his hand's going a little bit, and you're straining his grip each time. I never take the tension off the sleeve. Not that, again, I'm gassing my tricep out, pulling in an awkward position, but I won't let him do this. And reestablish his grip and roll the tension out of it. Okay, so he's getting cramped in there. One more time. Again, we're here, we're moving around a little bit. Shoulder, create tension. When I feel strong and I feel ready, go for it. Didn't work. Didn't work. Oh, there it goes. And then you go into the position. Okay, so here, fast. Stay here, pretty safe, safest, but tough to get sometimes. Right here, I mean this. Okay, shoulder, wrist doesn't work, right back to the shoulder again. Recreate the tension. Okay? Couple more, guys. So you can see how I was moving around with Greg there. Just, I'm not crossing, I'm not walking, not doing this. Same rules as striking, right? Moving forward, forward leg. Moving backwards, back leg. Side, 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 side. I'm never crossing over or getting caught with my feet. Okay? Let's go. Guys switching their stance on you. You can take, doesn't really matter how it happens. I maybe got my right hand grip, but he went here, right? It's going to be the same technique, okay? Or it could be based off of me getting my standard grips, I break his grip off, and then I reestablish my control, but he switches stances, right? I'm not letting him re-grip here, so he switches to here. Now the big thing again is that I'm keeping myself in a strong position, so my footwork has to be with my upper body, okay? I need to be in the same stance all the time. So from here, what I'm going to do is, again, not worry about the sleeve, it's not going to give me much control, but I can't let him dominate this side. Okay, so from here, I go to the shoulder, my hands are kind of crossed over here, so I have two hands basically here. You could double up your grip here, I could go underneath, it's just whatever's comfortable. I usually just try and hit him in the shoulder though. Okay? Now from this position, once I have that hand in, I switch my stance back, lapel comes to the sleeve, I'm right in my other position now, and I just go back to my grip break and recontrol. He reaches underneath again, because that would be the smart thing, right? Now, so this is one of those instances, if you ever look at Dave Camarillo's book, really good judoka, jiu-jitsu black belt, and he was really important in kind of combining both the arts together in a way that was very, I don't know, clean. Okay? Didn't favor any one art over the other. So the big thing with him is that when he did a leg side grip, he likes to go over top so you can kind of drop your elbow in here and control. Maybe this is due to protecting yourself from wrestlers doing a shot off this, but the way I was always taught if you switch sides is to always be under. Inside control, underside control. From here I can open him up, I can enter for throws, and I can stop him from coming in on me, right? He's fighting over top, okay? Inside control, just like most things, okay? So that's the difference. I don't want you guys reaching over top of his arm because now he has like a huge Seanagi right here, everything else, okay? So always, if you're gonna reestablish a grip, come under, okay? So again, you just start from the beginning. Oh, I should get this detail on the tape too. So some of you were having issues breaking the grip when you're going quick because you're hitting at the forearm. Okay, yeah, maybe because the sleeve is a little bit low. But if I hit anywhere off of the wrist, what's gonna happen is the energy goes into his elbow and then he's gonna be a lot stronger. Okay, you're losing all that power. Make sure that you're hitting as close to the hand as you can, right at that weld point. Break that off. All the energy goes into the grip instead of going through the arm. Okay. So I break it off, I reestablish my grip. He reaches inside and switches his stance. Okay, so from here I let go, lock the shoulder, lean your weight on him, and switch your stance, lapel, sleeve, re-grip or re-break, and reestablish. He switches again on you. Okay, block, switch your stance, sleeve, break, re-grip. Goes again, boom, boom. Ready, re-grip. So this is going to turn into a drill. Start slow and slowly speed it up. And this should be comfortable and natural after a while. Okay? Start slow, build it into a drill. Switch every like 10 or so. The building blocks for your stand-up. You can't throw someone if you don't have control, and grips are control. Okay? Now let's just really quickly go over a few other options. Now this style of a grip break is what I want you guys to have as your basis, and then you mix in other options as those fail. Okay, because again, someone does death grip you there, and you haven't quite refined this technique. It can be tough. Okay, so another option that we have when he grabs is just sort of the Brazilian style of it. Okay, I don't have a big enough chest for this, but it works. Double up the grip right on the wrist here, double it up, and then just step back and just pop it away. Just punch it off of you. And then from there, nice arm drag off that, or lots of opportunities too. The only problem with this is, again, if I'm fighting a guy with good wrestling or good throws, wrestler or judoka, as soon as I'm at this point here and I'm trying to push away, like, it can be dangerous, right? And I don't have much respite. So just keep that in mind. So just straight up, pop it away. Now, one I do really like, actually, this one's the other side, is this one here. So this one, I'm just gonna attack the grip directly. So you notice how when he creates a fist there, like it started like this, but it curls over. So what I'm gonna do is uncurl it. Okay, now if it's a low grip, it's not gonna work that well because there's, again, a lot of slack, a lot of play in the position. That also means his grip isn't that strong, okay? So what I'm gonna do here, my one hand's just on his arm. It could be here, it could be here, but just in general, I need something attached to him. My other hand goes underneath his grip, as close to his hand as I can. And all I'm going to do is step back and then think like you're starting a chainsaw or something. Push away and pop, okay? Just step and rip, okay? Works really well. Nice thing about this too is to come back in this, if you can time it nicely, it's a great time for a throw too. You rip here, boom, and then you can step into something, okay? So again, he grabs. So this could be just, he got the first grip and I'm just trying to basically cup and punch. Grab the wrist physically or the sleeve. He grabs from the inside here again, and I get there. Right here, here, step back, and pop it, but it's aggressive, rip it. Okay? So try those two out. Last one, the high grip. This one's a really difficult one when you put this side. So, see? So up top here. So this is a dangerous position for me, okay, even if I had all my grips. So what I'm going to do is treat this very similar to my my last one that I did when we switched our base. So inside control. So from here, I'm going to put my head against his chest, and I'm going to try and stay as strong as I can. What I don't want is space where he can actually pull me down, and then now my resistance comes up, and then that's his throw, okay, or especially on the legs there, okay? So what I'm going to do is kind of allow him to control me, pass the lapel near side to your hand, double up, and then now from this position, I'm going to bench press him away. So I extend back. Now, ideally, you can pop this grip because it's so high up, there's a lot of tension. When I switch back, a lot of times, all I'm going to do is just change my base and, you know, break the grip just by turning your shoulder, okay? So again, we're here. Now, you notice how I'm not standing like this? Maybe I started this way, but as soon as he connected to that grip here, I want to get my strength in the same way. Because in this position, you can imagine if he had a sleeve grip here, look at the Asotogari in this position. That's a pretty tough position to deal with. So I take away some of his advantage. Lapel, inside, climb up, extend through. Now let's add a little flair to this, okay? Just by switching my base, I can see how much tension there is here. It's really awkward for him. But if I can get my elbow to the inside, so my arm is on the direct inside line of his, from here, just by turning, this is where you're really gonna pop that grip off, but a lot of times you end up just kind of smacking the hand off from here. Okay, as long as it's controlled, it's not striking, guys. Okay, so this is the last one. So from here, like side, mirror side position, in, create control, hand inside. So my arm's right directly, outside of my elbow is on the inside of his elbow. And as I turn, there's a lot of strength just with that. But if I kind of smack as I go, then I get a good grip break off that. Pop, pop, or again from here, inside, control, step back and break. Okay? Cool. Anything in martial arts, but especially for our training. Think about if we're doing specific inside the closed guard. Now, there's times when I'll tell you guys, like, okay, guy on top, you're just trying to play anti-jiu-jitsu. All you're going to do is just lock onto the hips and don't get swept and don't get submitted. But you're not doing anything, right? You're ultimately just making a position static. So when people grip fight, this is a big thing. Be willing to engage. You're going to learn so much more, and you're going to get so much sharper with your grip fighting. You're going to see so many more opportunities to throw, even to just a pull guard too. So, big thing here again is don't be too concerned about avoiding the grips when we're doing grip fighting. Like just slap arms right, we get started here, and then just kind of play from here and here. Now again, the big thing I could do if I'm playing that kind of silly, like I'm just gonna get my ego involved here, and my win is him not being able to break my grips off. Yeah, that's valuable, but ultimately I'm not learning, right? If he starts going grip fighting me, right, and I'm just, what am I doing? Nothing, right? I'm not going to see any entrances here, right? What we want to be doing is both engaging, right? 50% grip strength here. So that we're here, we're moving, I'm breaking off. Oh, geez, I just made a mistake, right? Just kind of flow around, change it up, pummel in once in a while. Just work your feet, work your grips, try different variations. But ultimately, it's resistant. You're still trying to get control. So in grip fighting, what we're looking for is either double underhooks like we were pummeling, or just he can't regrip on me. So if I break his grip off, boom, I'm basically trying to keep him here and defend against him, trying to get his other grip in here where it's going to be useful, and just keeping the other one away. Because if I can hold him in that position for 3 seconds, I could have attacked multiple times for takedowns or guard holds. Okay? So don't get too this, right? Strongest grips you have for control and not getting thrown is this. Good luck throwing them though. Okay? So partner up, just flow. Mix it up. Yes, resistance. Try not to death grip. Okay? 9 times out of 10, when you start a match, you're going to end up with at least a grip on the lapel and then whatever else is happening. Okay? Now, a big thing though is that that's not my first thing that I can grab. So Greg was talking, or just asking me about this, about whether or not you should grab the sleeve first. It completely depends on what you like and what's available to you. So one of the first things that's available to you is when someone's actually reaching for you, would be an arm drag, right? If I can catch and grab, now it's a great opportunity. That's a great first option. But there's also the option of not playing into grips whatsoever, right? You can wrestle. You can shoot from the outside. You can try and pick up a single or something like that based on him having no grips and you having no grips. Just attack the legs. Don't play into the grips, okay? It depends on how he's acting too, right? Like, I've had the chance in competition to fight a couple guys that were D1 wrestlers that were like current, still in the mid-season for their wrestling, but they were just popping into some no-gi tournaments. And immediately I regretted standing with them, right? Like, it's just that I've never been hit by a double leg that literally put my tailbone through the mat, right? And I've trained with some really good wrestlers, but these guys were on a different level. So you may want to adjust your game plan based on stance of what you saw in the last match, right? Or again, you lock up with the guy and all of a sudden he's postured, light on his feet, and starts to kind of wheel you around. Some warning bells should be going off, right? Always be willing to fight, but don't be silly. Don't put yourself at a disadvantage, okay? Engage on the feet, never concede a position willingly, but if you recognize that they're better than you in a certain aspect, get outside of their game, switch it up on them. If they start being really good with their grip fighting, start attacking the legs or pull, right? You see a guy, not caring that his neck's way out there and he's like, stalking you down like this, probably a wrestler, like I was saying earlier. Be ready to sprawl and, try and jump on their back, go for a guillotine, or again, pull guard. We have that option, okay? Now, a couple other things really quickly, just some details. A nice way of establishing the grip, if a guy's really good at kind of fending off, doing hand fighting and whatnot, is just to lead with your elbow. So you defend your own elbow, or you defend your own collars, you give an elbow. Most guys want to grab it because it's an easy thing to go for, but you have a hinge here. So if he grabs onto my sleeve, now my hand can just lever down and get a grip. Okay, it's a good way of kind of defending guys from jumping in on you too. Okay, so lots and lots of things with your grip fighting, or again, just to avoid all grips whatsoever, just come in, shoot. Okay? Any questions at all with your grips? Really important aspect of the fight and really often neglected in jiu-jitsu training. No, pretty good? All right, guys. So rest of the week, all takedowns, throws, guard pulls, all options, and a lot of training. So today was pretty theory-based, right? Okay, guys, so if you want to roll, go for it, but that is technically the end of class.